Hey, I'm Katy Miller, a course creation coach and social media strategist navigating business, motherhood, and life while calling BS along the way. If you are tired of the overwhelming amount of information we have access to these days and are confused about where to even begin, you're in the right place. Join me as I talk with small business owners to sort it all out and give some tips to move your business forward. Welcome back to another episode of Katy Calls BS. This week we are talking about how summer is the digital product season. Last week we talked about low ticket offer lies, and this week we're kind of continuing the theme of digital products and what you can do about low ticket offers and kind of continuing this digital product theme. So summer does not have to mean pausing your business completely. I don't know about you, but summer brings a different schedule. For me, it brings kids being out of school, it brings summer camps, routines just are different. I tend to slow down during the summer to enjoy vacation time with my kids and drive them where they need to be, being mom, Uber, whatever activities we may have. If we're slowing down a little bit, it doesn't mean we're completely pausing our businesses. It just might look a little different. So whether you pause things, slow them down, find the absolute bare minimum that you are doing during the summer, we're not doing a massive overhaul, right? We're not just completely revamping everything. It just looks a little different, and that's okay. But it's a great time to then start creating those digital products that have been sitting on your list for weeks or months or years. You know, the ones that you've been pushing down for a while, the ones that you say someday, the one that you are like, I'll get to that. I want to do that eventually. I know I want to create one day. Well, this slow season or the laid back times are the best times to build digital products because you have less client work, because your clients are also on vacation. Your clients are also doing the summer schedule. There's less pressure and demands on you because of that. And your headspace is a little more clear, which allows for this, creativity to flow. So you can test these ideas that you may have, this idea that you've had for whatever digital product, if you've had one for a while that you've had on your list of things to do or things to create, or that you want to create something one day, you can test those ideas. Your audience isn't gone. They're also relaxed by the pool, on vacation at the beach. So you know what they're doing? They're scrolling. They have more time to scroll. They have more time to jump on the poll that you're throwing up in your stories, or just generally scrolling more. So they're probably going to see what you're putting up on social media. So it doesn't mean we disappear. You might do less, and that's okay to do less, but just know that people are not gone completely. The landscape of everything has changed in general, but it doesn't mean we're disappearing. It just means that it looks a little different. So use the summer to be more creative. Use that summer creative energy, the time to think, to your advantage to create these digital products. That's after you recover from the May-cember, June-cember craziness, because we need time to recover from that. There's a lot of activities. If you're a parent, there's a lot of activities at that end of year madness. So recover from that, get things back in order, put all of the school stuff away, and then get into this sort of business mindset, because you probably paused it for a hot minute to try and get through all the end of year activities, and you need to recover from that before you can get into a creative mindset. And then you have your vacations and all of that. But here's what I want you to do. If you have an idea, run with that idea. But if you don't know where to start with your digital product, I want you to focus on picking a problem that you can solve fast. Digital products are not something that we're trying to get super complex with. We're not trying to dig into this solve the world's problems, because there's a lot of them, but we're not trying to solve a lot of this massive, huge thing with a quick solution digital product. So pick a problem you can solve fast. Ask, what's the number one question I keep answering over and over again? What is something that my clients are asking me over and over and over again? What is something that I get a lot? Start there. Think small. So like I said, this is a bite-sized solution. We do want to focus on the solution, the transformation. We're not trying to just give out some fluff thing or create just a freebie. Those are fine. There's a time and a place for freebies. But we want to create a solution for people, a bite-sized solution. So think a guide, a template, swipe files, checklists. We're not creating a signature course here. We are not doing that right now. We can do that eventually, but we need to start somewhere. We're creating a resource for people. That's what we're doing. We want to create a quick resource that is transformational that can lead into something else. So when I say that, this first or next low-cost offer that you're going to create leads into a bigger offer later. And we talked about that last week on the podcast. We talked about how your digital product should be leading into something else. What is the point of this offer? Where does your client go from here? You need to know that in everything that you do. This is the journey, your customer journey, the customer roadmap. Where do they go from here? What is the point of this whole thing? Like, what, we can't just have a standalone thing where like, all right, the person gets this and they have no idea where they go after here. So you kind of just lose them and they fall off. We don't want that. We want them to have a clear path of like, okay, they start at this digital product. What is the next one? What is the one after that? Where are they going in the customer journey with you? And then the last thing you're going to do is create content once a week that teases, teaches, or validates that offer idea. So we're not out here creating like 400 pieces of content a week. That's a lot anyway. But like, we're not out here creating a ton of content for this offer. We're just creating content once a week, just a little bit of content to show that we know what we're doing, to validate that idea. We're putting it out there in our stories. We're putting it out there on our feed. We're putting it out there in our email list. We're still keeping up with what we're doing. It might just be a little less, and that's okay. So now if you're thinking like, okay, Katy, that sounds like a really great plan, but I still don't have time. My summer is so busy. I'm going to call you out right now. If you've been waiting for the right time or a free week or a day where you can just like sit down and work on your digital product, or you're like, I'm going to wait till I have like a full day. I just need like the morning. I just need like the afternoon when I'm not going to be interrupted. It's not going to happen. That's a dream. We should know by now that we need to work when we have the chance to work, right? So we are not going to have that full week. We're not going to have that full like chunk of time that we're hoping for, because it's just not how it works. We should know by now that we just have to adjust and things are going to happen. And that's okay. So instead of thinking you need this huge block of time, break it down into smaller pieces. Don't try to do everything at once. Don't try to sit down at whatever time in the morning and expect to complete the entire thing by the evening. If you can do that, amazing. But if you don't have that ability, like most people, it's okay. So if you have 1 hour, when you have 1 hour, this is not like when you have 1 hour, you need to do all of these things. When you have 1 hour or a little bit of time, here are some things that you can do. So here's each one of these things are separate. Don't try to do them all in the 1 hour. You could brainstorm a problem to solve with your digital product. That's quick. Hey, I'm sitting at swim lessons, or I'm sitting at like camp pickup. I'm going to brainstorm a problem I can solve with my digital product. The next thing you could do is write out some quick notes. Then you could record a short tutorial. You could build a landing page with a template or your preferred platform. These are all things you could do within an hour, separate, like 4 different hours. Okay, just to be clear. Now, if you have a 2-hour chunk of time, you could work on an outline. If you have another 2-hour chunk of time, you could work on creating your digital product, like actually do the nitty gritty of it. If you have another 2-hour chunk of time, you could prep to sell it. Like, this is not complicated. Okay, we're not trying to like overcomplicate our digital product. We're not creating a course. We're creating a simple digital product to get out into the world. And what I want you to do during this summertime, what I think that you can do during this summertime, is get it out there. So that's what I think a lot of people just kind of get into, this like stuck mindset of I can't do it, I don't have enough time. But a digital product is, the fun thing about them is that you can. It's not something that's complicated, and you can use something that you already have, which is the best part about it. You have so many things sitting in your Canva or your Google Docs that you can rework, which cuts down on most of this time. So even less time that you don't even have to brainstorm a problem, because you already have something that you know to solve. You already have something that solves that problem sitting in your Canva. So use that and rework it. How can I rework that? Let me think about that while I'm sitting at camp pickup, or let me think about that while I'm sitting at swim lessons. That's all it is. It's the short, quick things. We are not trying to change massive things. We're not trying to move boulders here. We're not trying to create a course. We're not trying to do like life-changing surgery here. Okay? Like, it is not massive. You can do this. So some ideas for you, before we get into ideas, some tools that you can use to make things easier. Let's make this as easy as possible. Like, we're in summer mode. You could do this while you're sitting by the pool. Sit outside, like get some sun while you're doing it. Use things like Loom and Canva and AI tools, like have ChatGPT help you. That's what I use for most of my things. Like have ChatGPT help you out, get the basics, at least get it started. Like it's not doing the whole thing for you, but at least it's getting it started, right? Some ideas for you. Do like a getting started template or a workbook, like a simple workbook to get started on whatever it is that you do, whatever industry it is, like a brand starter kit, a getting started with your digital product. That's an easy one. I have a Kickstart Your Course bundle. I took pieces from my course, my signature course, and I put it into a bundle. I think I maybe added, zhuzhed it up so it made sense together outside of my course. Put it in a bundle. That's a digital product right there. It can be that simple. You could do a quick training with an action sheet. Like I'm going to do a break down one subject and do a quick training. Here's the next steps. So I'm going to train on this one topic and here's what I need you to go take an action step on. You could do a resource bundle. Maybe you're doing a checklist, here's the first steps towards this in this process. Maybe if you're a health coach, okay, you want to understand how to meal prep, or you want to understand how to count your macros. If you want to understand how to do XYZ, here's the first step. I need you to take inventory of this. So here's how you do it. Something like that. You could do a how-to Loom video or swipe file combo. So a how-to Loom video, how do I use this tool? It's very simple. I'm telling you, keep it so simple. You could probably record that Loom video in 2 seconds because you are so good at using that software or that tool because you use it all the time. So create a how-to Loom video of a question that people always ask you. Maybe it's the website that you use if you're a website designer and people are how do I do this on the website? You could create that tutorial in 0.2 seconds. And that's an easy digital product. Okay, so if I want to know how to set up my blog on Squarespace or something, do that. Pair it with a blog template. Boom. Here's a blog template and how to create your blog on Squarespace, a little tutorial video. That's a great combo. Very simple. So a plan you can follow this month. So we've just started, by the time this will air, it's still the beginning of June. You could do nailing down your problem and solution in the first week. You could even break this down by days, not just weeks. So if you want to really stretch this out, you could do this by weeks or days. Nail down your problem and solution, create your product, write the emails and the sales pages. The fourth step is going to be to start selling and gathering feedback. You're live in 4 weeks. You could even do it in 4 days. That's but way before the back to school madness. So you could have your digital product ideally live in July. Easy peasy. So the summer is not a waste your energy, let's wait for fall before I'm going to get back on it. I'm going to wait till the kids go back to school kind of situation. Because if you do that, you're going to get back into the madness of the routine of clients and all that, whatever your normal routine is normal during the school year. We're not going to do that. You still have plenty to do that you can do during the summer. This is a great time to set yourself up for that fall launch if you want to do that. You don't need a full funnel. If you listened to last week's episode, you know how I feel about that. You need one offer, one problem, one solution that your audience wants now, that they will grab now. My challenge to you is to find 2 hours this week and commit to working on your digital product at whatever stage that it is, whether you have an idea or not. 2 hours, that's all you need this week. Doesn't have to be together. 4 30-minute blocks, 2 1-hour blocks, however you want to break it down. That's all I'm saying is 2 hours this week to work on your digital product. Because this episode airs on a Monday, you have the full week. And if you need help mapping it out, you know that you can always DM me or message me on Instagram because that's where I hang out the most. I do have tools that I'll link the tools in the show notes so you can find out the different tools that I have to help you get started with your digital products, because there are lots that I have with that. But let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Katy Calls BS. You can find more information about our guest and Katy in the show notes below. Be sure to subscribe, share, and review, and don't forget to tag us.